Good day everyone, so hope you're all doing really well. In my community post yesterday, I asked you guys that from a non-meta perspective, what are some of the good reasons for pulling on Kokomi's banner? And sure enough, you guys have delivered, so we're going to go through each one of these reasons, as you can see, in a bit of detail in this video, and hopefully you guys will find this to be quite an interesting discussion. So let's kick it off with the number one reason that everyone voted for, and that is the fact that you can take some of these beautiful photos with Kokomi. Without a doubt, Kokomi is one of the prettiest and most photogenic characters in the game, and I do believe that the key to her looking so good in a variety of photos is her soft color palette. So Kokomi is filled with these pastel-like colors. Basically, if you don't know what that is, it's when you add a bit of white to the color so they don't become as saturated, so they become more faded, as you can see here with the little color palettes that I'm putting up on screen. And this, together with Genshin's unique anime aesthetic and background environment, means that Kokomi blends really well with the environment regardless of where you take the picture. So for instance, it's not like you have a crop up of a photo and you just like copy and paste it onto a background environment and it stands out. No, it's like with Kokomi, she blends with that artistic environment, which means that you always have this beautiful picture. I hope I kind of explained that well, but that to me is really what makes us so good. And I think that is very unique to Kokomi. It's that color palette, as well as the fact that she can change the environment with her elemental burst, so you can get a new like wave of colors and patterns coming up that just makes her so unique. So you can take normal photos, you can take very unique elemental burst photos, but you can also take photos of her being able to walk on the water, which means that there are areas and locations that are just accessible to her and not to many other characters. So really the combination of all of these things just makes it so good. And I also feel like one of the fun reasons for us as Kokomi mains to take pictures is the fact that it also gives us a memory of the game. So for instance, if you go back to the 2.8 Golden Archipelago Island, that was a fun, memorable experience for me. And if I had not taken any pictures or any photos, I would have lost that memory. It's the same with the 2.7 event and with all of these events where you sometimes get a rare situation or circumstance in Genshin or an environment that you'll never ever get, and all you need to do is just plop in Kokomi and you know that you're just going to have a banger of a photo. So that to me is, I think, a very good non-meta reason for getting Kokomi. It certainly extends your playtime and longevity, as well as make it a bit of fun. I think a lot of people don't appreciate that with taking photos. There's an entire rotation of how you want to put up the sky, or an entire meta of how you need to use certain character abilities, like I do in my YouTube intro videos, so that you can just have the right moments and the right background to just make some gorgeous photos. There is certainly a meta to doing these, taking these photos, including where you need to recharge energy. But yeah, it's you can tell I'm really passionate about it. Something that I do enjoy with Kokomi. But in any case, let's go on to the second reason. And that's the fact that Kokomi is quite literally a walking statue of 7. It is incredibly easy to heal your party on demand wherever you are in the overworld, precisely because her primary method of healing is tied to her elemental skill and not her elemental burst like some of the other healers. This just means that your overall journey as you go on, let's say, long stretch throughout the desert or some in the forest and so on, is very smooth and uninterrupted. It really is quite fun to just be able to heal up and then progress, instead of having to now open up the menu, eat some food, or now you have to wait for the cooldown of the characters, or you need to teleport to walking statue of 7. All of these things kind of hinder the flow of your journey, and I feel like with Kokomi, being able to heal as you go along is something that really improves like the overworld exploration, for me at least, and that's just a very good reason to have her. She makes your journey very comfortable. In my experience, if you use something like Kokomi for healing, Yelon or Sayu for traveling, then you've got pretty much most of your overworld needs taken care of. The other characters can just be flex characters for solving the puzzles and so on. But that healing, that walking statue of 7 is just, it's a quality of life that if you're not used to it and you suddenly get used to it, you don't want it taken away. It's just that good. But in any case, so let's go on to the third reason, and that is the lore and characterization of Kokomi. So one of the things that you'll notice about all of the Inazuma characters is that they have a style and an aesthetic with their clothes and so on that is very much unique to Inazuma, and yet Kokomi doesn't fit this bill. If you look at her clothing, even the entire construction of Watatsumi Island, her own island, which is kind of cool, you really note that Kokomi is special. She really stands out from the region, and I think that specialness is something we as Kokomi mains really like about our character. And I think the other thing that I like about Kokomi is that she's not an imposing character. So in Azuma, you've got all this lightning theme, you've got the Shogun, you've got Yaemiko. These are really imposing and almost, in a certain sense, I want to use the word scary characters, whereas Kokomi is very much the opposite as a leader. She's a very gentle character, very easy to love in terms of her personality. She's very human in the sense that, you know, we all can resonate with the fact that you can overwork and that you need some time to recharge your energy. That characterization of her personality to me is just so, it's so warm and it's so iconic to the character, and I don't find that gentleness really with the other Inazuma characters, perhaps maybe with the exception of Ayaka. But all of the other characters seem to fit more their region and like the archetypes thereof, whereas Kokomi seems to be much more uniquely situated. Even Goro feels like a typical, it feels like he's actually supposed to be belonging on like the main island. He doesn't feel like he is a Watatsumi resident, but I know that might sound controversial and so on, but I can definitely feel a difference between a character like Kokomi and the rest of them, and that to me is what I like about the character. I think having a character that is so unique, and obviously with her unique tie-in with Enkonomiya and so on, definitely tells you that when you pull for this character, you know from a lore perspective that you've got like a little gem here, and like, you know how most people are, you get sentimental over something that is kind of unique and that is kind of different, but that only you have. I know it's a psychological thing, but to me that's just why I really like Kokomi. I think some of the other more endearing aspects of her personality, like how she gets dizzy with the recent 3.8 event, or the way in which she was speaking to Cleaver Hole, ara ara, she did it twice in the 3.8 event. It was just like, it's small things like that I just find so cute. And what makes it all really work for me is obviously the voice acting, in particular Mimori-san. So all of the ways in which she portrays Kokomi is, I just love her. Like, look, she's a great actress, voice actress. She's done some amazing work in the past, but even all of the little subtle things that she puts in with Kokomi, the little noises, the little toot when Kokomi dashes, or when Kokomi is a bit more serious, you get that bit of a commanding tone, but it's not too rough. It's not like it feels forced. It feels just right in terms of its delivery. So for me, that the voice actor has brought a lot of life to Kokomi in a lot of different ways. And I think if you really have an ear for the JP voices, you can tell that she put in quite a lot of her effort into portraying Kokomi well. And to that, I'm eternally grateful. I think I've spoken about this before, from my previous experiences with this voice actor, I couldn't be any more happy. Look, a good voice actress can certainly carry a character, and I think in this case it's really well done. So with all of that said, let's start wrapping up the video. I do think that there are very good reasons why you can pull for Kokomi outside of just combat. I think some of these reasons are mostly due to the fact that she can enhance your longevity and the way in which you can play outside of combat. I do feel that from a character perspective, Kokomi has really been well done. It is just a shame that we don't have more lore, that Mihoyo does not want to put in that bit more of effort with her. But in any case, with what we have, I think we as Kokomi mains are certainly very, very happy. So if there are any other reasons, let me know down below. And if you made it this far into the video, then you're absolutely awesome. Thanks for watching.